Broadcasting from down on the Bayou, it's the AverageMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast, a proud member of the Roar Network, powered by thegorillaposition.com. And now your hosts, Michael Leander and Patrick Fry.
And welcome to episode 68 and a half. Patrick, why is it 68 and a half?
Well, it's 68 and a half because, of course, you know me. My mind's always in the gutter. And,
scumbag.
You know, I was trying the other day. Obviously, we knew we would get to episode 69 at some point. We got to like episode 60, 61, 62. And, you know, I think we mentioned it on maybe episode 64 or 65 or some episode. You know, Cruz had brought it up and said something about, you know, we got 69 coming up. And I was trying to do the
math in your
head.
The
math in my head to see, because obviously it's WrestleMania week coming up. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Bryce.
Yo.
Burrow? Is that...
That's Bryce Boudreaux.
Boudreaux. Okay, well, Bryce Boudreaux, that's what I thought, but it doesn't say exactly Boudreaux. It says Burrow.
He's going to be ring announcing tonight.
Oh, that's going to be... Oh, so he's going to be at Full Throttle tonight?
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know he is.
All right, well, we'll talk a little Full Throttle, too. We got a big show tonight here in Lake Charles. So 68 and a half, I was trying to figure out if episode 69 would line up with our WrestleMania preview show, which obviously is going to be a big show. We're going to have NXT Takeover New York, G1 SuperCard. We're going to have WrestleMania. We're going to fill out all those cards next week. It's going to be a huge show. Pro Wrestling Roundabout's going to be on the show. And it wasn't lining up exactly to be episode 69, so we discussed it this week and decided this week would be episode 68 and a half, and our big WrestleMania preview show would be episode 69 next week. So it's epic.
It's the biggest wrestling event in the world, so we have to match that epicness.
Absolutely. If I can, my headphones look a little.
And the only way conceivably we could do that was for it to be episode 69.
Absolutely. So we decided this will be episode 68 and a half. Appreciate everybody. Marcus Talbert, Mixed Breed 337, and then, of course, Bryce Boudreaux all hanging out in the chat. We're going to talk a lot about WrestleMania weekend here today on episode 68 and a half. Go ahead and tell them where they can find us on social media.
That's right. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at the AverageMarks. We are broadcasting live from the Collar and Elbow Studios. And again, if you're looking for some amazing, as I'm showing our YouTube and Twitch viewers, amazing wrestling streetwear for an amazing dude, Mr. Al Snow and Company, swing over to collarandelbowbrand.com. At checkout, use our promo code, TheAverageMarks. It's one complete word, no spaces. TheAverageMarks. That will save you 10% on your entire order. They're always having sales, and that 10% goes on that. So you could be walking out with a great deal on a few pieces of streetwear. Maybe you want a hoodie for next year. Maybe it's still cold where you live. Who knows? They got hats. They got jackets. They got a new Letterman jacket on there I want.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Yeah. They got tons of stuff for guys and gals. Go check it out. Collarandelbowbrand.com. Use our promo code at checkout. TheAverageMarks. Save 10%. And what happens is you help support the show, because not only are you saving a little bit, Collar and Elbow pays us a little bit as well.
Absolutely. Marcus says, I like 69, but I'd rather 68 sometimes. I don't even know what 68 would be, but... Hey, look, you like 68 better than 69? More power to you, Marcus. Mm-hmm. But it is episode 69. Today we're going to talk a lot about WrestleMania weekend. Obviously, a lot to talk about going into next weekend. You got NXT Takeover New York on Friday night.
Yes.
You got G1 SuperCard Saturday night. Yes. Also, the Hall of Fame on Saturday night as well.
Take it or leave it.
And then, of course, you have WrestleMania on Sunday night. You know, Jay Lethal came out the other day and was talking about how he thinks it should be called Wrestling Weekend instead of WrestleMania Weekend. What do you think about that?
Jay Lethal, the reason why you guys are in New York that weekend is because you're trying to hop on the WWE train. No, it's WrestleMania weekend. That's why it's a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
If you were just running a show that day and WWE wasn't there, it wouldn't be a weekend. There wouldn't be all this stuff for people to do. WWE's bringing it there. Shut up.
Absolutely. I concur everything you just said. While, it is a wrestling weekend, a lot of folks are trying to get in on the fun, and there's a lot of wrestling. I mean, you can go look. Somebody put a wrestling schedule for WrestleMania week of everything that's going to be happening in the New York area on Reddit, I think. Somebody could probably go to the Squared Circle subreddit and find it. I mean, it's an absolutely just a long list, a lot of wrestling, but at the end of the day, if it wasn't for WrestleMania, this weekend would not be happening.
I heard WWE's trying to put the kibosh already on smaller promotions doing this in Tampa next year.
Absolutely, yep, and I heard that too, and that's going to be interesting.
That's a bad look.
That is a very bad look. I would have to say I disagree with that. I mean, look, you're basically the forefront of the weekend.
You're going to get yours.
You are, WrestleMania, despite what you may think of the WWE product and what it's been lately, WrestleMania is the focal point of this weekend, hence why it's always been called WrestleMania weekend. I know there's a lot of other good wrestling. G1 SuperCard is going to be amazing. NXT is going to be amazing. Hell, there's even going to be some matches at Access that are going to, draw a little bit of interest, especially a match that will include Luke Harper. Luke Harper,
yes.
Actually, did you see the statement he released on his Twitter about fighting? Who was it that he's fighting?
I did not see the statement, but I did see the statement. I didn't read it, but it's long.
And basically what he's saying is what he said in that statement was he's been cleared since February the 6th. Of course, it's almost 2 months since then, almost exactly 2 months to the date before WrestleMania 35 taking place on April 7th. And then, and obviously if you're Luke Harper, you want to get in on the WrestleMania fun, but it looks like all the WrestleMania fun that Luke Harper is going to have is a match at WrestleMania Access, but he is treating that as a WrestleMania-type match. So that's going to be something to watch out for. I don't know if there's going to be any live stream or way to watch it unless you're there, but certainly something to note. Luke Harper put that statement out on his Twitter page. I think he put it out yesterday. Bryce Boudreaux, prediction: to match the excitement of Joan Jett performing Ronda's entrance, Becky comes out in a monster truck. I wonder how where they're gonna fit a monster truck coming into that. I actually did see somebody was flying over MetLife Stadium. They've already started working on the setup and everything there.
I think it'd be kind of cool if they had. Did you see the guys that came here to town? They're called the Red Hot Chili Pipers.
I did. I didn't go watch them, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Now, obviously, they're Scottish,
and
she's Irish. But I think that'd kind of be pretty cool if they came out and they were doing her song on all the bagpipes, and because they're a full band too, they got guitars and all. Well,
I know they're going to be in the shadow of New York as Michael Cole. They're going to be in East Rutherford, New Jersey, geographically. Technically,
shot over there.
So that's where MetLife Stadium is, but they didn't ask me where to put it, so that's where they put it. But, of course, they're making it sound bigger, which you don't really need to. WrestleMania, you could say WrestleMania is in Mowata, Louisiana, and it's still, it doesn't matter. They keep saying the shadow, WrestleMania at MetLife Stadium in the shadow of New York, and that's just, to me, that's annoying.
It's also a great place to buy some crank.
I wouldn't know. I've never been to. Well, actually, I have been to New Jersey. I've never been to East Rutherford, New Jersey. But I've
scored some crank.
No, I didn't score no crank.
Okay.
I was only 15 at the time, so I didn't even know what crank was. I'm still not even sure what you're talking about when you say crank, but I know it's not good. So it's nothing. It's nothing I want a part of. But the fact that they keep saying in the shadow of New York, I don't know, that's just annoying to make it sound like, we're in New York, but you're not in New York. You're not even in the state of New York.
But both of the teams that play
just say MetLife
Stadium still call themselves the New York teams.
Well,
I don't get it.
To be fair, they were the New York teams before they put the stadium there, but
it still doesn't make sense. Kind of like Dallas Cowboys. Screw you,
But
Cowboys.
when they were at MetLife Stadium back for WrestleMania 29, it was like New York / New Jersey, which that was cool. I was like, okay, that's cool. New York, New Jersey, that's cool because, you have, TakeOver that's going to take place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. That's in New York. So in a way, I don't know. Every time Michael Cole says the shadow of New York, it just
it's like
it annoys me.
It's like you're making New Jersey New York's B.
Pretty much. So, and there's really no other big venue. Obviously, that's the biggest NFL venue. I mean, they don't want to. As much as they love Madison Square Garden, they're not going to run.
Yeah, if you're going to
WrestleMania will never be ran in Madison Square Garden again. They're trying to get these big 70, 80, 90, 100,000 seat stadiums.
But if you're going to call it New York, it needs to be an MSG.
I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty jerky.
Just say it's going to be in East Rutherford, New Jersey. My goodness, don't try to make it, and WrestleMania is already big enough that you don't need to make it sound any bigger by saying the shadow of New York. That's just a little something that just kind of annoys me. So, and they're going to say it a whole bunch next Sunday, but I'm just going to ignore Michael Cole.
It'd be a great drinking game.
Every time he says the shadow of New York.
I don't drink, but
well, I tell you what,
set that up.
I'm going to be hanging out at Brink's all weekend.
Put that on the live stream.
So I'll be hanging out with Brinkman all weekend next weekend in their new little spot they have over there in between Mamu and Eunice. That's
out
be fun.
In the country because he likes it that way.
It's a really nice.
Everybody knows every. Don't stop me.
It's a really nice spot out there that they have. That is the reason why Brinkman has been busy lately. Has not had the chance to respond to Casey Jones of Pro Wrestling Roundabout. So I'm letting you know now, not really as his official spokesman, but a credible source that helped the man move into this new house. That's what he's been dealing with the past couple of weeks. It's taken a lot longer. Obviously, anybody who's bought in a house knows, the struggle or the time it takes to close on a house and all that stuff. Then you got to move and get everything set up. So that's what Brinkman has been taken care of.
And the Quad Champ has other obligations as well.
Mm-hmm. So soon enough, Brinkman will respond, I believe, or we will respond some way, somehow. But just know that one way or the other, it's on for WrestleMania weekend as far as the scorecard challenge goes. Marcus says, I'm his advocate. I'm not his advocate. I'm not a good advocate. I'm not like a Paul Heyman level advocate. So I don't even want to say I'm his advocate. But
now, before we jump into this,
he speaks for himself. I'm just letting you know as a credible source, that's what he has been up to.
Yeah. Before we get into this, I want to wrap with you a little bit here.
Okay.
Did you listen to the show last week?
With our show?
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to, no.
Dadgummit.
I didn't get a chance to.
Like, you didn't even want to hear how it sounded with you not in it? Like, I feel like I haven't been with you on the show in like a month now.
I know. That's what I was saying, too. Like, this is the first time we're back together live streaming in a little while. I just, it was my vacation. I was, I was so amped up for...
I'm pretty sure you had 2 minutes at least to listen to some of it.
I was watching a lot of March Madness. That's what I was doing.
Dadgummit.
Marcus said it was a good show, so...
thank you, Marcus.
But, and you know what the good thing is? When you get other guys, I don't even know who the guy is you had in with you.
You'll meet him tonight.
But, obviously, when you get another guy like that in, he has other, because we have our rap, we talk about what we talk about, and then you got a guy that comes in, he has other thing. He kind of has a different perspective. So I'm sure it was like a fresh, new perspective. I'm sure he did what was his name?
Sean.
I'm sure Sean did a fantastic job.
Oh, he did.
Gave a fresh perspective on a lot of things wrestling-wise. So sometimes it's nice to have those guys. Like, we've had Casey Jones on the show. We've had Bryce Boudreaux on the show. We've had Pro Wrestling Roundabout on the show. We've had all kinds of people on the show at this point.
Matt Zion from Reckless Eating.
Yeah, through 68 and a half episodes. We've had a lot of guys on, and it's nice to get all these guys on sometimes because they give you a fresh perspective than what we sit here and give you every single week. As got a video bomber down there standing in the he's just standing there. They might be doing a drug deal down there for all we know. Oh
my God, that's what it looks like. Either that or trying to pee in these porta potties over here.
I don't know, but anyway, anybody sees what's going on right here. I don't know what they're doing, but
maybe East Rutherford isn't the best place to score some crank.
Yeah,
it's downtown Lake Charles.
It's right off of Interstate 10 here in front of everybody. So I don't know what's worse, that photobombing us or Dwayne. Mr. J. Paul says hi. He looks like he's on Twitch there. So
what up?
Mr. J. Paul, hello. Welcome to the live stream as we're talking, getting ready to talk some WrestleMania weekend stuff.
Yes, but I
here.
got one more thing to talk to you about.
Right, go ahead.
Dude, I can't believe you're finally going to a Full Throttle show.
Yes.
Like, you don't know how excited I am.
I feel like I've been to a Full Throttle show before.
No.
But I may not have. I don't know. So, but this will be my first one. If I've been to one, because I've been to those local wrestling shows way back when. Me and Brink used to always go to those. They'd work in Elton and I don't know if I've ever been to one in Lake Charles though. So, but this will, if it's not my, first, it's probably maybe my second, third tops. But it's my first one in a very long time.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch some Full Throttle Wrestling tonight. We're going to have Tim Storm there.
Yes. Former NWA heavyweight champion of the world and current Full Throttle heavyweight champion.
Yep. Tim Storm. He's defending the belt tonight, correct?
He is.
Who is he defending against?
He is a working champion, T-Ray. From Austin, Texas.
Oh, all right. So Austin, Texas will be in the house tonight in Lake Charles at the Lake Charles Civic Center. Full Throttle Wrestling for anybody in Southwest Louisiana that wants to come check out some Full Throttle Wrestling tonight, March 30th, Lake Charles Civic Center. Bell is at 6 o'clock. Yes. Doors open at 5 o'clock. Yep. $10 for adults and 12 kids 12 or under are free, actually. Yep. So, yeah, it's fun for the whole family. I'll be out there taking some photos, and it's going to be a fun time. So
it's all for a great cause. Proceeds going to Give a Wish.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're going to be taking some photos.
Yeah, I'll be taking some photos, so I'm going to try and take some good photos. So I got my camera. I'm going to bring my camera, get some good photos and whatnot. That's the thing, because I've brought my camera to WWE events.
Yes. Great pictures.
And you know, it's tough. Mr. J. Paul is now following us. Thank you, Mr. J. Paul.
Yeah.
It works there. Mr. J. Paul, thank you very much for following us. We really appreciate
the crack deal's bringing people in.
Hell yeah, man. They still talking.
Look at them going.
They still talking down there. They don't realize they're on the Average Marks. They're live.
Let me block these.
You want to block them boys? Yeah, go ahead and block them out a little bit. We'll block them out a little bit. I don't know what they're doing just standing there. But anyways, so, you know, we're talking about, what were we talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh, great.
But I'm excited. Like,
full throttle wrestling tonight, yes.
And I was going to say one more thing. Dadgummit. Let's just move on.
All right, well, we'll move on. We're basically talking WrestleMania weekend. That's really for the next 7-8 days, that's going to be the talk of the wrestling world, WrestleMania weekend. A lot happening. NXT Takeover New York, Friday night on the WWE Network. Saturday night's going to be a crazy night. If maybe somehow at Brink's house we can kind of get 2 TVs rolling, we might put on the Hall of Fame side by side with G1 SuperCard. That'll be on New Japan World, and I have a New Japan World account, so we'll be able to stream New Japan, Ring of Honor, G1 SuperCard, as looks like the drug deal's over now. So if you want to scoot back over there,
why?
No, I'm
you
just
scared to have another man.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. Well, that too, but it frames out a little more evenly on the camera.
I know what I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
We've been working together close for 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've asked you several times to come to Full Throttle.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I was asking you to go to church the way you were ducking and dodging me about it.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I'm just excited.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I can excite you about it and bringing a date with me too. So,
yeah.
And she likes wrestling. She used to watch wrestling. She hasn't watched it. She hasn't watched it much lately, but she definitely said she wanted to go. So,
nice.
Marcus Talbot, Kofi Mania. We're going to talk about that as well. Talk about just some unusual storylines heading up into this weekend. Let's first talk about what's going to happen at NXT Takeover New York. That will be on Friday night. Kind of get your WrestleMania weekend started as we look at the match card here. The NXT Tag Team Championships, War Raiders will take on Aleister Black and Ricochet. Now, this is... I don't know what's going on with Aleister Black and Ricochet. They've been bringing them up to the main roster. They've had matches against the Revival, the Raw Tag Team Champions. They've won those matches. They lost at Fastlane. They were in a triple threat tag team match where the Revival retained. And now they're going to take on War Raiders, Hanson and Rowe, and I guess it's just another way to get Aleister Black and Ricochet because I still don't think they've officially been called up yet because, you know, that's been the thing. They've been on Raw. They've been on Smackdown. They were at Fastlane. Have they been called up? I don't think they've officially been called up yet because every time they come out, they still have the NXT name bar on their names when they come out. So that right there tells me it has not been an official call-up yet for Aleister Black and Ricochet, but they will be performing, wrestling the War Raiders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. That's going to be fantastic. This one I'm really looking forward to because I've actually never seen this guy wrestle, I guess, live or really at all. It's going to be Walter fighting Pete Dunne for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. Walter and Pete Dunne, of course, Walter made his WWE debut showing up at NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool back in January. And thanks to Walter, I lost my NXT title to Conrad. So not crazy about Walter from that perspective, but really looking forward to this match. Pete Dunne, he's the longest reigning champion in all of WWE, any level you think of. Pete Dunne, the longest champion. I think he's been UK champ now for 500-something days or something like that. It's really, really crazy. So he'll defend against Walter, arguably the biggest threat to his title since he's gotten it. So Walter and Pete Dunne, this match, I'll mention this one last. Velveteen Dream and Matt Riddle, singles match for the NXT North American Championship. Velveteen Dream will defend against Matt Riddle. So Matt Riddle gets his first shot at championship gold in NXT. So,
did you see the way Velveteen Dream distracted Matt Riddle the other day during one of his matches?
I did not. No. How did he do that?
He had some girls push him out in this
some girls
felt purple couch,
and
he was eating grapes or something. While
I think
I
seen one of those GIF images of him doing that or something like that. Or I've seen a clip of it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So this should be a really good match. Velveteen Dream, Matt Riddle. for the NXT North American Championship. And then now we have a fatal four-way for the NXT Women's Championship. It's going to be Shayna Baszler taking on Io Shirai, taking on Bianca Belair, taking on Kairi Sane. So that's going to be a pretty fun four-way right there. Looking forward to seeing Io Shirai, her first big match.
Yes.
In NXT.
Her first big match was the AMP Hottest Women in Wrestling tournament where she did very well.
Yeah, she did well. She's a very good look. She looks good, and I tell you what, as good as she looks even better in the ring. That moonsault she does off the top rope, dude, that is like the most perfect looking moonsault I think I've ever seen a woman hit, or just in the air. Is just so, I'm telling you, just go, if you haven't seen her do the moonsault yet, anybody out there has not seen her do a moonsault off the top turnbuckle, go do it. It's the most beautiful looking thing. Marcus, Pat, you can always come to Bible study with me and Cruz. Bible study in quotes. Yeah, I know, man. That would be if it's a night where I'm not doing nothing, I don't have work the next morning, dude, y'all give me a call when y'all come to Bible study here in Southwest Louisiana, man. I'll be sure to go to Bible study. I'm going to learn all about the Bible. I'll tell you what. And then, of course, the main event, NXT TakeOver, it's going to be Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, 2 out of 3 falls. Both of these men have never held NXT Championship gold, so somebody's going to become the NXT champion for the first time, whether it be Adam Cole Bay or...
Okay. I was wondering the whole time. I was like, who's his opponent?
Who's Johnny Gargano facing? He's facing Adam Cole Bay. Johnny Gargano, I tell you what, that's going to be...
Dude.
Oh, man, they're going to tear...
That's a great card.
They're going to tear the house down. Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole. The only bad thing about these NXT TakeOver cards is that there are only 5 matches. I feel like they could add a 6th match in there, because I feel like NXT now is getting that depth where you can add maybe another singles match, maybe another tag match or something, just to kind of give some of these other guys, because you got, upcoming guys like Street Profits. You got a guy like Cassius Ohno just hanging around. And
you know what? And I love the yellow brand. Mm-hmm. Screw the way they're booking Cassius Ohno. This guy's a freaking indie legend. And I get he's probably there to put over talent and to be like an extra trainer type thing and a mentor and whatnot. Uh-huh. Give this guy a bone every once in a while. Put him in the picture. The man is huge and he's athletic as hell, and you're just wasting him away. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that gets under my skin, dude.
Well, he's not on the card, but he's...
Of course he's not.
But...
Hey, but I think this is going to be great for Walter. It's going to give him some really big exposure.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
You seen the clip of him slapping the soul out of that one dude, right?
I've seen...
With the handprint?
I've seen some of the hand... Yes, I did, actually. That was one of the guys on NXT UK, right? I remember seeing... Yes, I do remember seeing that picture.
Do you think Pete Dunne lets him do that spot?
Oh, sure, yeah. Pete Dunne is a tough son of a gun. Pete Dunne can take a lot of those chops. I mean, he'll be red, but certainly Pete Dunne's going to take his fair share of chops. And you know what? Walter's going to take his fair share of chops, too, because Pete Dunne, look, I'm telling you, if you look at it size-wise, I mean...
The bruiserweight.
I mean, yeah, he's the bruiserweight, but Walter's a much bigger man than he is.
God.
But I tell you what, Pete Dunne's going to go in there, and it's going to be a very physical match.
Yeah.
I mean, that may be the most physical match at NXT TakeOver. I tell you what, Pete Dunne, Walter, WWE UK Championship. So NXT, looking forward to it. It's going to be a great appetizer for what's to come the rest of the weekend as we now transition over to Saturday. Now, Saturday.
Wait, before we get there.
Okay.
Word on the street is that Johnny Gargano possibly is going to stay in NXT another year.
Well, I also heard that there's also talks of him maybe when he might go to 205 Live.
I've seen that too.
So I would rather him stay in NXT, but at the same time, and we'll get your thoughts on this too. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a terrible move. I think 205 Live needs some sort of spark, and I think right now Johnny Gargano could be that just spark that they need. Him as the Cruiserweight champion, I think that would be would be great. But now hear me out. He can go there for a year, do his thing, kind of, and maybe put some of these other guys, in the limelight, make these other guys look really good. And look at Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali worked his way up. Now he's on SmackDown. He's, a name now on SmackDown, even though they shortened it. I don't know why, again. But, Johnny Gargano could be the next, and I don't want to compare him and Mustafa Ali because I think Johnny Gargano is better than Mustafa Ali, but go there for a year. The name's already there. He was in the Royal Rumble match, so he's gotten some WWE big time, pay-per-view exposure already, and he's been one of the, the major players, obviously, in NXT for the past couple of years. So go to 205 Live for a year, become Cruiserweight champion, kind of put that brand up, basically build it up, and then you go to a Smackdown or a Raw where then you can, have some United States title feuds and then eventually work your way up, because Johnny Gargano, man, he's a special talent, and I think he can help 205 Live a lot and then go to the main roster, kind of like Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, but how can he provide a spark and build up a brand that the company just buries? Well, they don't want 205 Live to be at the forefront of anything.
Well,
I mean, you got NXT, who has a massive following.
Yeah.
You got 205 Live, who nobody gives a crap about.
Unless they somehow implement, I would love to see if they implemented 205 Live and NXT together, maybe have the Cruiserweight division on NXT or something. I think that would be cool, because unfortunately 205 Live, and 205 Live lost some big. I mean, obviously Neville was a huge name that they lost. They had, I'm trying to think who else they had. Obviously they lost Mustafa Ali to the main roster. And I'm trying to think who else. I feel like there was somebody else who also led. And they had Enzo, which, while he wasn't that great of a wrestler, he was a name for 205 Live. So, and he kind of,
charisma.
Yeah. So he had a lot of charisma. So just I don't know. I feel like 205 Live just, they had some bad breaks along the way, and I think Johnny Gargano could be the huge spark that 205 Live needs to kind of
to get a pre-show match.
Yeah, and well. That too, and you know what? I think, and I love me some Rey Mysterio. I think Rey Mysterio would have been fantastic on 205 Live. There's a lot of guys on the main roster, I think, and I think you could have kept Mustafa Ali on 205 Live as well, because obviously he's a name now. So
see, it doesn't need its separate show. That's where they're going wrong, man. And we talked about this before. WCW did their cruiserweights the right way. It was an integral part of the show, and it was the most exciting part of the show.
Well, the bad thing is about WWE, they're so oversaturated with talent right now.
Exactly.
I mean, you look at the guys just in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We looked at that list. There's 29 guys in that. I mean, 27 if you take out the two clowns from Saturday Night Live. But, 27 guys. And you look, there's so many guys. I was looking at the list of participants in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I mean, I could see a bunch of guys winning. I could see Braun Strowman winning. I could see Andrade winning. I could even see maybe Titus O'Neil getting,
What?
Yeah, Titus O'Neil. And, I'm looking down, this would be the WWE thing to do. EC3 is in this Battle Royal. What if out of nowhere EC3 wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
I heard he's in McMahon's doghouse.
Well, if he's in McMahon's doghouse, then obviously he will not win. But
Rhino's in it.
Yeah, Rhino's even in it, and maybe, and they've given the strap to Jinder Mahal before. I could see Jinder Mahal somehow winning it. I just see a handful of guys. Obviously, Ali could be another one that wins it. It looks like never mind. Well, they got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in there, even though they've checked out. But these two cats right here, Michael Che and Colin Jost, what the hell? Mm-hmm. I don't understand that at all. This is like your modern day Pete Rose Kane feud that they had for years at WrestleMania. Pete Rose would show up and Kane would just destroy him in some sort of fashion. So I don't know what's going on with this Michael Che Colin Jost thing, but I'm hoping for all of our sake that Braun eliminates them both at the same time. That the first one's gone from the Memorial Battle Royal.
Well, what that probably is Lorne Michaels cutting a big old fat check to WWE for having two of his comedians on the show.
It could very well be, and they could have paid a lot of money to have those two guys on there, which is cool. Hey, WWE, make your money however you can. They're in the, it's not like they're playing a huge role in this. So I don't know. But
you thinking double choke slam over the top rope?
I'm thinking double something. Braun could take both of those guys and do whatever with. I don't know, but that's a lot of guys in that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We will talk about that when we get there in just a little bit. But we're still talking a little bit about NXT Takeover. Of course, we went over the match card. And anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah. So the whole thing with me saying with the Gargano thing was screw NXT call-ups right now. Like you said, dude, blue and red shows are oversaturated with stars. Stars aren't getting time because other stars are getting time.
Yeah.
Let these dudes create their own magic, which they do a great job of in NXT. When you get the shows finally on Fox, get these dudes a live show on FS1 or whatever, and just let them roll with it. Let the yellow brand be its own brand.
Yeah.
Let these dudes be lifers. Pay them well.
Yeah, so that's what. So yeah, that's what's going on. Rumors: Johnny Gargano could be going to 205 Live. Maybe he stays in NXT another year.
Oh.
I prefer if he stays in NXT. Did you hit your leg there?
No, my knee almost locked up, dude. Old football injury.
Oh boy, we don't want that happening. At least you're sitting down though, so
yeah.
I don't know if that would affect you too much sitting down, but. All right, so let's move on over now to Saturday. Saturday, WrestleMania weekend.
Saturday.
Quickly, I'll talk about the WWE.
No, we don't have a time limit, dog. We're not on radio this week.
That's true, I know, but I don't know if too many people want to hear about the Hall of Fame really anyway, but like you said, it's a... Well, anyway, we'll just quickly, talk about the WWE Hall of Fame inductees for 2019.
Well, did you hear Dave Meltzer pooping on... what's the other dude? Stevie Ray?
Yeah, Stevie Ray.
Yeah, you heard Meltzer pooping on him?
No, but I don't really, I don't listen to Meltzer.
Dave Meltzer, Harlem Heat was amazing. Screw you.
Yeah, so obviously Saturday night it is the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony. The headline group, D-Generation X, of course, one of the co-founders, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Chyna, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, and X-Pac. Those will be the official.
Yes.
And it'll be interesting, Billy Gunn showing up because he's a member of AEW now.
You know he is.
So D-Generation X will be in there. Also, the team you just mentioned, Harlem Heat, Booker T, and Stevie Ray. Then the Hart Foundation.
Are they putting Miss Elizabeth in there too?
No, Miss Elizabeth will not be in there.
That's messed up.
Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. The Hart Foundation will get in there as well. The Warrior
They're
Award.
not putting Owen Hart in?
No, it's just Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart. You can't believe it, huh?
That is two big screw jobs, bro.
Well...
Like Owen Hart was a part of that.
I know he was.
I mean, it may have been towards the end, but come on.
He was, but...
the British Bulldog was in it, too.
The problem is, I think the British Bulldog's already in the Hall of Fame as an individual.
But if you're going to put the Hart Foundation in there, you put its members in there.
I know, but I think... Obviously...
Don't you try to defend this.
I'm
already pissed off.
I'm not trying to defend it, but certainly, there's the whole thing with Owen Hart. His wife doesn't want him to be inducted into the Hall of Fame and all this and that. And Mark Henry, of course, last year made the plea to his wife, let them induct Owen Hart. Plus, in my opinion, this is not how... If Owen Hart ever gets into the Hall of Fame, I don't want it to be like this. I'm not even thrilled at the fact that I'm thrilled that Chyna is going to be in the Hall of Fame, but she deserves to be inducted individually and not as a part of D-Generation X. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us, but
right. And then if you do it that way, it almost seems kind of cheap because you're like, oh, she died, so we got to put her in now.
Yeah, and Owen Hart, if he ever gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, I feel like he deserves an individual induction. I mean, that to me is like the only explanation I can come up with as to why, and then of course the fact that his wife doesn't want him to be inducted in, because apparently there's still bad blood there. But if you're going to induct Owen Hart into the Hall of Fame, don't do it like this. Don't do it as part of a group. The same thing with Chyna. I'm thrilled that she's going to be a part of the Hall of Fame, but I just wish that she would have gotten her proper solo individual induction like she should have. I mean, obviously, former Intercontinental Champion, first woman to ever enter the Royal Rumble. That she is like one of the biggest, if not the biggest, pioneer of women's wrestling in WWE, in my opinion. So,
but if you think about it, when the Horsemen went in, they included Ric Flair in that.
Yeah, well, Ric Flair was a huge part. I mean, Ric Flair was, first of all, Ric Flair I think was already inducted into the Hall of Fame individually already as it is. And I mean, come on now. You can't leave Ric Flair out of the Four Horsemen.
No, you can't, because he was a part of the Four Horsemen.
But he was like a huge... But wasn't he one of the original Four Horsemen? Or I don't know if he was one of the original ones. Because I think total there was like 5 or 6 guys that were a part of that group. And see, the thing about... Owen Hart, he wasn't one of the original members of the Hart Foundation. I think they were just trying to grab the original tag team of Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Bret Hart, and apparently, they were talking about Jimmy Hart was their manager, and they were talking about inducting him. Of course, he's already inducted in there solo-wise. Anyway,
Teddy Long of Harlem Heat.
Yeah, exactly.
Miss
So
Elizabeth.
It's all about how they do it, how they induct it, and who else? Also, the Honky Tonk Man will get inducted. And
About time.
And look, okay, now this last one here, I'm all for it because to me, she's one of the best-looking women that ever came through WWE. Tori Wilson will get inducted, but, when I heard she was getting inducted, my first thought was, ooh, I get to see Tori Wilson. My second thought was, has she done enough? Because first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, China should be, if I had to pick Tori Wilson or China to get inducted into the Hall of Fame, it's China 100,000%. China should be inducted over Tori Wilson. So, and I love, don't get me wrong, I love Tori Wilson. I've made it clear, my love for Tori Wilson. And I'm thrilled that she gets to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm thrilled that I get to see her, see what she's wearing. Hopefully she's showing off a little skin. But, what has she done in the ring that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame over somebody like China?
It was a different era. It was the puppies era. Puppies! And she's getting in there because she's hot.
Yeah.
She's not getting in there for in-ring talent.
Well, this is what... Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if you saw this the other night on Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Tessa Blanchard, Scorcher promo on Gail Kim.
I saw Gail Kim is coming out of retirement to fight Tessa Blanchard.
Yes. She said Tessa said to Gail, "I'm sorry that you couldn't lace my boots in my era." She was like, "While I'm main eventing Impact, in your era, you were having bra and panty matches and fighting with pillows."
And Tessa Blanchard told Gail Kim that?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oof.
Yeah, that's going to be a good match.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
But it's the same thing with Tori. That was... they weren't there for their wrestling. They were there for eye candy.
Well, this is what... Okay, so, for example, like the Honky Tonk Man.
One of the best heels of all time.
Yeah,
dude.
well, one time and longest reigning WWF Intercontinental Champion, a record 454 days. And then this is what it says for Tori Wilson. A, quote, key figure in WCW's invasion of WWE and, quote, a pivotal member of the WWE Women's Division who, quote, helped blaze a trail for women in sports entertainment and also was featured on the cover of Playboy twice during her WWE career.
Well, I mean, they couldn't say she's getting in here because she has a nice rack.
Has she even won? I mean, that rack is phenomenal, but she never even won a championship. And look, I love Tori Wilson. She's gorgeous. I mean, I would love to be the father of her children and all that, but what has she done to be in the WWE Hall of Fame? Absolutely nothing, in my opinion. Her Playboy, I've seen the Playboy photos. They're fantastic. She could be in the Playboy Hall of Fame, I tell you what. But now, granted, she was, and I agree, she was a key figure in WCW's invasion of WWE, a pivotal member of the women's division at the time, and she sort of helped blaze a trail for women in sports entertainment to a degree, but not to the level that China did, that's for sure. So, in my opinion, Tori Wilson is not deserving of the WWE Hall of Fame.
Right, because China had to get her job on the merit of her wrestling. Tori Wilson got her job on the merit of her looks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a different era. I mean, those chicks were there to be on swimsuits.
Yeah.
Those chicks were there to be on Playboy. And those chicks were to be there to be the fantasy of every young man across America.
Yeah. So Tori Wilson will be a part.
She succeeded.
I don't think, I don't know, is there going to be, because right now there is 5 inductees, and then of course you have your Warrior Award recipient, which will be Sue Atchison, a longtime WWE worker. She's an executive. She's spearheaded many of WWE's charitable programs, including its partnership with Make-A-Wish Foundation, which we all know the great work that WWE has done with the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yes.
John Cena, I think, has granted more wishes than any other athlete on the face of this earth. So Sue Atchison, a long time, and she's not even going to technically be inducted into the Hall of Fame. She's getting the Warrior Award, which, in my opinion, this woman's done more than Tori Wilson to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, because especially what she's done behind the camera, behind the scenes, and all the charitable work. So Sue Atchison will receive the Warrior Award, well deserved, whether you get inducted or whether you. And that's the thing. So people have always talked about folks that have worked behind the scenes in WWE getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, like Jim Johnston. That dude's created some iconic theme songs. He should be inducted into the Hall of Fame some way, somehow, whether it doesn't matter if you get your own wing for the producers, the cameramen, whoever.
But there is no wing. There's no Hall of Fame building.
There's no physical Hall of Fame, which I think that's the next thing. That's one of the next thing WWE should work on.
They shouldn't have sold the Titan Towers. They should have made that the Hall of Fame.
That would have been...
That'd been
perfect. That would have been perfect.
Yes.
And where are they? Speaking of, where are they moving the WWE headquarters? Are they still going to be in Greenwich, Connecticut, or they're just getting a new building? I guess.
Yeah, they're building a new building.
I tell you what, man, because that Titan Towers, of course, that's been there for years.
Yeah.
But man, that's a heck of a building.
Yeah.
That they have over there. So yeah, that would have been great. Turn that into a Hall of Fame. My goodness.
I mean, that's why we need a job at WWE. Or Ryan Bowman can hook us up with AEW.
You never know.
You said John Cena. That's another guy that's going to get in the Hall of Fame, not because of his limited moveset and not because of the 5-knuckle shuffle. Well, it's because of his charisma, kind of like what Torrie Wilson's getting.
Well, now we're getting in. Now I disagree with that. John Cena, now people may agree he has not been the greatest wrestler, but that dude has fought, at a time that dude fought week in and week out, main evented, WrestleMania after WrestleMania, has won countless championships.
But it was because of his charisma.
But and he started as the prototype, and then he slowly worked his way up, and he got over with the fans. And I mean, Torrie Wilson was over to an extent because she looked good, not because she could wrestle. Certainly, John Cena at one time, and John Cena's put on some great matches. I'm not, I'm the one guy here that, I think John Cena was a great wrestler. He's past his prime now, but he's put on some fantastic matches with guys. So John Cena, first ballot Hall of Famer, not only for what he's done in the ring, but what he's done outside the ring with WWE as well, in my opinion. I think 55% of what he's done in the ring, 45% of what he's done outside the ring for WWE. So John Cena's, definitely, if, we talk about guys, if they would get their own wing, John Cena's one of those guys that should get his own wing, like Stone Cold, like Ric Flair, like The Rock, The Undertaker, guys like that. And John Cena should get his own wing. That's just my opinion. And John Cena will get inducted one day, but certainly I think his work with WWE is far from over. So, even though he's only there part-time. All right, let's move over now. We talked about the Hall of Fame. That'll be happening Saturday night. Also happening Saturday night, G1 SuperCard of Honor, man.
Yes,
that's going to be a fun show here. Let's look at the match card here for G1 SuperCard of Honor, which you can stream on New Japan World. If you have that, it's only 999 yen.
Or check out Reddit for a link.
Well, look, I'm going to be honest with you. This show by itself will be worth the 999 yen, which is about 9-something American dollars. It's going to be more than worth it. I mean,
get your money right, Japan.
I would pay $20 I'd pay double of what I'm going to pay to watch this show. The opening match will be the Honor Rumble. We don't know all the participants, but we do know one participant that has been confirmed. Jushin Thunder Liger will be here. Of course, Jushin Thunder Liger will retire at Wrestle Kingdom next year, Wrestle Kingdom 14. So this will be the last time maybe that you ever see Jushin Thunder Liger in Madison Square Garden, or even here in the States possibly. So fans are going to be treated there. Chances he wins the Honor Rumble.
I mean,
we don't know the other participants too.
That's
either.
a catch-22 because obviously it would be a nice way to tip your hat to him, but at the same time, is it really realistic to have an old man win?
I mean, it's going to be a battle royal. It's Jushin Thunder Liger. He's a legend, one of the biggest legends in the world of wrestling. And why not give him a nice little victory? Because in my opinion, unless this, brawl is going to mean you get a title shot of some sort, like an IWGP title shot or a Ring of Honor title shot or whatever the case may be, depending on who wins. If it's just, for the fans, for a fun little opening match, I think it might be actually in the pre-show now that I'm thinking about it, because this says first, because the never open weight and Ring of Honor World TV Championship match between Ospreay and Jeff Cobb, which, my goodness gracious, just wait till we get to that one. This might just be a little fun match to get the crowd warmed up. Why not have Jushin Thunder Liger win it? So if there's nothing on the line, I mean, hey. And now we'll see who else is in the match, but we'll certainly find that out, I guess, either in the week to come or I don't know. Maybe when we start watching the show, we'll find out.
Yeah.
So, but now we go to the main card. The first match, it's this title for title. It's the Never Openweight Championship and the Ring of Honor World TV Championship, both on the line. It's going to be Will Ospreay versus Jeff Cobb. My goodness, this is going to be some. I don't even know. Like, you know, and Jim Ross always said, you want to have a good match to start. This is a good match to start, but in my opinion, these two guys should be going on way later in the show because they are going to tear the house down. These two guys fought not too long ago, and they put on one heck of a match. So I'm looking forward to seeing Ospreay now that he's my favorite guy in New Japan since Kenny left. Will Ospreay, my favorite guy in New Japan. Looking forward to watching Will Ospreay and Jeff Cobb go at it. Ospreay, one of the most athletic wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb, a big man, but certainly pound for pound, one of the most athletic guys in wrestling in the world as well. So that's going to be a fun match. Second match will be a special singles match. Dalton Castle is taking on Rush. So that'll be a nice little.
No, that's Roosh.
Roosh, okay, Rush. See, look, I'm already, you know.
I watched that guy in MLW. Boy, did AEW miss out on this cat with him signing to ROH? That guy is awesome.
And then the Women of Honor World Championship match, so there'll be a women's match here. Mayu Iwatani against Kelly Klein. So that'll be a one-on-one for the Women of Honor World Championship match. This one, I'm very interested to see how this goes. Bully Ray is issuing an open challenge, and it's going to be a New York City street fight. And we know Bubba Ray Dudley, or Bully Ray in this case, his ECW pass. He's not afraid to get hardcore. It's going to be a street fight. Looking forward to seeing who answers this challenge. Any idea?
Do you think it could be someone from his ECW past?
What if it's like Tommy Dreamer or something like that?
What if it's Devon?
So you thinking Bully Ray versus Devon, maybe?
I don't know. You
have any idea who it could be?
Rick Verley from the Hitting the Marks podcast said he accepts.
Oh, he's accepted.
Maybe he shows up.
I don't know.
Represents Roar Network.
It depends on what the payday is to get beat up by Bully Ray.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to have a dude from ECW. I don't know. I know RVD's still wrestling.
Yeah.
Have RVD's ECW music hit.
Absolutely. So that's going to be fun. I think that'll be a fun little segment to see who answers the challenge.
Or since it's in New York, you bring back Taz for one more match.
Ooh, boy, that would be interesting. Yeah, somebody maybe from New York that's going to get that MSG pop, And, of course, it won't be all New Yorkans in that crowd. There's going to be wrestling fans from all over the world that came in for Mania weekend that's going to be at this show. Of course, Cruz and Brink went to that show last year in New Orleans. But, of course, last year it was just Ring of Honor, SuperCard of Honor. This year it's a New Japan Ring of Honor joint show. The next match will be for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. It'll be a triple threat. Taiji Ishimori, the Bone Soldier, will have his third defense. He'll take on Dragon Lee and Bandito. So this will be a high-flying match. These guys are going to be flying all over the place.
Bandito, man.
Yeah, those guys are going to be flying.
So good.
Those guys are going to be flying all over the damn place. So that's going to be a fun watch there. Then it's going to be the IWGP Tag Team and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match. So another title-for-title situation. You have your IWGP Tag Team Champions, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And then you have your Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, Brody King and PCO. The challengers, of course, one from New Japan and one from Ring of Honor. You have Evil and Sonata from New Japan. And then also the Briscoes, Mark and Jay, will challenge. So it's going to be a four-way tag team match for both the IWGP Tag Team titles and the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. So that's going to be another fun one, man. I tell you what.
PCO's an old man, but he can go.
Oh, yeah, and he looks just like, look at this picture right here. You don't want to mess with that guy no matter how old he gets.
That dude's a warrior.
So, yeah, this is going to be a slugfest right here, I have a feeling. Here's another championship match. It will be the British Heavyweight Championship. Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi. Oh, that's going to be a fun one. Zack Sabre Jr., he's going to pull out some submission out of his behind and put it on Hiroshi Tanahashi. Of course, Hiroshi Tanahashi was just previously the IWGP Heavyweight Champion before losing it to Jay White. But now he's got a chance to become the British Heavyweight Champion, taking on Zack Sabre Jr.
What Tanahashi needs to do to get him off of his game is to get like one of those little pocket fans out and do like the hair flip and have like the wind on him.
Yeah.
He's got great hair.
Absolutely. Now he's probably got the best hair in New Japan now that Kenny's gone.
Yeah.
Now, so now the best hairstyle got to be Sonata, man. He's got that like spiked. I love that. That's awesome. All right, the next match will be for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. It'll be Tetsuya Naito, his second defense, taking on Kota Ibushi.
Nice.
That's going to be a fun one right there.
Yeah.
Kota Ibushi was the Neverweight Open champion before he lost it, obviously, to Will Ospreay at Wrestle Kingdom. And now Kota Ibushi, he had a good run in the G1 last year. A lot of folks, I thought he was going to challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight title when Kenny had it. The Golden Lovers going at it for the IWGP Heavyweight belt. That didn't happen, but Kota Ibushi has now, expressed his commitment to stay in New Japan. So anybody expecting to see Kota Ibushi in AEW anytime soon, I don't think that's going to happen. So
that's a bad move.
I could certainly two big names in New Japan, Naito and Ibushi. I would love to see Ibushi win this, win the Intercontinental title, man. That would be a nice, and Tetsuya Naito's both great guys. I know Brink's going to be ready for this match. He loves him some Tetsuya Naito, so that's going to be a really, really fun match there. The Intercontinental Championship, Naito versus Ibushi. And then it's the Ring of Honor World Championship three-way ladder match. This was, I love me some ladder match. This one's going to be fun. Jay Lethal. And of course, New Japan, they never do ladder matches in New Japan. They're always just straight up. There's never any gimmick matches in New Japan. There's always just straight up 6-man tag team, singles matches, triple threats, whatever the case may be. Never really, hardcore matches.
I
never
wonder
any
what promotion Mick Foley does all his hardcore matches in Japan.
I don't know.
Be interesting to look up.
Now, maybe back in the day, New Japan did that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So the Ring of Honor World Championship will be on the line. Three-way ladder match. Jay Lethal, the champion, will defend against Matt Taven and Marty Scurll. So,
speaking of Marty, he's got another title. What's the word that I'm looking for? He's chasing another title, too. He just accepted the NWA championship match.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, scumbag Nick Aldis came and confronted him on ROH.
Oh, yeah?
Because he wanted to tag with him in the Crockett Cup. And then Marty was like, I'll see you at Crockett Cup.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be tagging with you. I'm going to be fighting you for your championship.
So it's going to be there goes an idiot down the one way. So it's going to be Marty Scurll is going to fight for the NWA World Championship.
Yeah, the Crockett Cup.
The Crockett Cup. Okay. All right. That'll be fun. Your main event, though, for G1 SuperCard, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, it will be Jay White taking on Kazuchika Okada in a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom, but no belts were on the line there. Of course, Jay White winning the IWGP Heavyweight title from Hiroshi Tanahashi. Kazuchika Okada had the longest reigning IWGP Heavyweight Championship reign with 720 days it was before he lost to Kenny last June at Dominion. And now Kazuchika Okada trying to get that title back from Jay White. So, that's going to be another great match there. So, Kazuchika Okada, Jay White, main event of G1 SuperCard. So that show's going to be off the chain.
I remember when he made his debut, he called himself Switchblade. Anybody ever call him that anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Breathe with the Switchblade. Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Oh yeah, he's still Switchblade Jay White. Definitely. That's his what's the word I'm looking for? Catchphrase. Breathe with the Switchblade. And right now he's kind of running stuff in Bullet Club. So he's kind of leading the charge. He's basically taking over Kenny Omega's storyline. Is kind of basically what's happening here. So if I have a feeling if Kenny stayed with New Japan, we'd be seeing Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada right now again at G1 SuperCard, which I guess I'd be okay with. We've seen that a bunch of times, but I guess as they're so good together in the ring, it just never gets old. But a little fresh here. Jay White, Kazuchika Okada, IWGP Heavyweight Championship at G1 SuperCard.
Is Jay White worthy of a Okada type reign?
No.
Okay.
I would not be surprised if Okada won it back.
Yeah.
And then maybe they go back and forth with these two guys.
Rainmaker on your hands.
So we'll see what happens next week. We'll give our official predictions later on this week. Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to have our show, one of those 2 days. So
Episode 69.
Episode 69, baby. All right, let's move on now to WrestleMania.
Dum, dum, dum.
So WrestleMania will take place on Sunday, a week from tomorrow. It'll be on April the 7th And, oh, man, there's like 800 matches for WrestleMania. But I'm going to go over what we have right now. First, the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, which will feature Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, Lana, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Mickie James, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Zelina Vega.
How you doing?
And, a lot of folks are just mad because they feel like just Asuka's getting royally screwed. Also, Naomi has voiced a lot of displeasure lately on social media as to how they've been booking the women's division on SmackDown. They showed the graphic for the Women's Battle Royal, and I think Naomi tweeted something along the lines of, oh, yeah, just another one that'll get canceled, I guess, or something like that. So Naomi has definitely voiced her displeasure with this. And what I want to know, where is Lacey Evans? You've been having her come walk out, say hello, and walk back to the dressing room in a matter of 10 seconds every week. And you're not even going to use her at WrestleMania? She was the number one entrant in the Royal Rumble, yet you can't put her. And I have a feeling she may show up because last year, they had all the NXT call-ups, or I say all the NXT call-ups. They had a lot of NXT women that just showed up in the Women's Battle Royal. So she could still show up in the Battle Royal because that's just not a lot of women. That's 13 women right there. You can have so many more women in this Battle Royal. You got 29 dudes.
And I think they will because they're even supposed to. I saw this from The Observer. Or Ringside News, one of them, they're supposed to announce more guys, too. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot more women on the way.
Well, and, a lot of guys and a lot of people are just, just doo-dooing on the fact of the Royal Rumble, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the Women's Battle Royal, like, it's going to be on the pre-show. But, you know what, like, I'm looking forward to those because winning the Women's Battle Royal, obviously, like, Naomi won it last year, and I guess it didn't really do much for her. But the men's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, it seems like everybody who wins it, and of course, now I think about it, Mojo won. He hadn't done nothing. Baron Corbin won it, I think, last year.
Screw that dude.
So, or who won it? Was it Baron Corbin that won last year? Or he won one year for sure.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Oh, Matt Hardy won last year. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. So... And you had, Cesaro won the first one, Big Show won, then Corbin, then Mojo, and then it was Matt Hardy. So I don't know. I'm hoping that, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but the Women's Battle Royal, have somebody win. Like Asuka could win it, I could also see maybe a Zelina Vega winning. I could, Naomi... she already won. Maybe a Carmella. Carmella I could see winning. Maybe a Mandy Rose. They're trying to give Mandy Rose the push. Or maybe Nikki Cross comes out.
We'll talk about that in rumors coming up.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah, true. We have to have something about that coming up in Rumor Mill. But you got the Women's Battle Royal. I don't know. It's I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to everything.
It's a little weak.
It is a little weak, but hopefully they add some more women. Maybe some NXT women. Maybe Lacey freaking Evans, which you called up. So yeah, let's because Nikki Cross is in there. She's still considered a free agent. Why not put Lacey Evans in there? I don't know. And then, of course, you have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Here are the participants in that: Braun Strowman, Michael Che, Colin Jost, Andrade, Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, Jinder Mahal, No Way Jose, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Kalisto, Grand Metalik, Lindsay Dorado, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, Rhino, Victor, Connor, Ali, Shelton Benjamin, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Otis, Tucker, and EC3. You hearing some noise back there?
Yeah, dog.
So there are, including the two clowns from Saturday Night Live, 29 entrants into the Battle Royal right now. And if you got all those guys in there at the same time, boy, that's going to be a crowded ring.
Yeah.
And, I was talking about it earlier. A couple of guys, I could see winning. I could see Braun Strowman winning. He hasn't won an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I think he's the favorite. I could see Andrade winning. Andrade, he needs something, obviously. I could see him maybe giving it to Titus O'Neil, kind of, he's been around a long time. Give him something, Apollo Crews, he's a young and up-and-coming guy. I could also see him maybe just giving it to Jinder Mahal for whatever reason. Bobby Roode wouldn't be a bad winner. Kalisto, he's former U.S. champion. Maybe he sneaks in, get a win. Ali, they tried to insert him into the WWE title match, maybe hoping to get a cheer. But since he wasn't Kofi Kingston, he got booed. So maybe Ali gets the rub there. Of course, Matt Hardy won it last year. Maybe Jeff Hardy wins it this year. And then also, EC3's in it. And I talked about it earlier. WWE, they've been all over the place lately, it seems. What if, they've EC3's been taking losses in 4 minutes on main event, and then all of a sudden, no one's talking about EC3. He comes out and wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I mean, I think that would be, I don't know, I think that could be what EC3 needs to maybe get, I don't know, that. To me, it's something...
He just needs to ask for his release and go back to Impact.
Yeah, that's probably the best bet. But maybe they give him, I don't know. Like I said, with the way WWE books things lately, just like Charlotte Flair coming out of nowhere and winning the Smackdown Women's title last Tuesday, maybe EC3 comes out of nowhere and wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Who knows?
Dude, speaking of Charlotte Flair, I want to send a public thank you out to Andrade. Because ever since the news came out of you guys dating, Charlotte's look game has been on point. Like, even you said it. Mm-hmm. You said the past few weeks, like, she has just been, like, extra beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I always thought Charlotte looked good.
Like, she's coming with it.
I think since she got that new chest, she's looking a lot more busty, and she's just looking great. Yeah, so Andrade's doing something right. All right, let's go now to the rest of the matches here. You have, let's see, so you got Brock Lesnar defending the Universal title against Seth Rollins. Everyone's hoping Rollins can win. Now there's rumors that Brock may retain. We'll find out. The main event, since the last time we've been together, this has been made official. The last match at WrestleMania will be Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. So they will be the main event of WrestleMania. So congratulations to the women for...
Until they
being the main
change
event.
Everything around like they did in Fastlane.
No, they won't change. No, they're. I think this is set in stone. The Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy taking on Tony Nese. That'll be a pre-show match. No holds barred match. Triple H versus Batista, and if Triple H loses, he must retire from in-ring competition. And this is a funny little coincidence, I guess. 6 years ago when they were at MetLife Stadium, Triple H fought Brock Lesnar, and had Triple H lost that match, he would have to retire. Uh-huh. So this is Triple H's second career-threatening match at WrestleMania in MetLife Stadium. He's won the first one against Brock Lesnar, so I think he'll win this one. But I reserve the right to change my... Because you know what? I was thinking about it last night. Triple H was banged up. The chances of this match happening were actually slim. What if... Of course, Triple H has never beaten Batista either, so I see it. I look at it from that point too, but... Triple H is dealing with NXT now. He's playing a lot more of an executive role. He's getting up there in age. I'm sure his body's taken a toll in the ring over the years. I could see him losing this match and saying, you know what? I lost to Batista, a guy that I helped bring up in this industry, a guy I helped get over, a guy that we put all our money into, and, I'm going to give him the rub and let him, end my career.
Nah, not going to happen.
You don't think that's going to happen? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but... Triple H was hurt. I think it's getting close to that time that Triple H, and he's already won one career-threatening match that he had with Brock Lesnar back at WrestleMania 29. So, I don't know. Maybe he gives Batista the rub. Who knows?
I think you underestimate the ego of Triple H. I think his ego is telling him, you're still the game.
Probably
his ego is telling him, you're still the main eventer. Mm-hmm. His ego is still telling him there's no way another wrestler is going to end your career. You go out on your terms.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. This tells us right here he's going to win the match unless he goes Vince McMahon and blows out both of his legs, and then he'll still probably find a way to pin Batista, even though he can't even walk.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's going to be a no-holds-barred match, so that should be very interesting. Kurt Angle will take on Baron Corbin in his farewell match.
God, no.
This is what I think is going to happen. I think Kurt Angle they'll have about a 1-minute match, and Angle will embarrass Baron Corbin, and somebody will come out after Angle wins so easily and suggest that he have one more match. And right now, if I had to guess, I think that man's going to be John Cena. I think Corbin will get squashed by Angle, and Angle will start celebrating, and Cena's music will hit. Cena will come out, cut a promo, and say something along the lines of, Kurt, my first match in WWE was against you, and this and that, and basically say, and you've had a Hall of Fame career. I inducted you into the Hall of Fame. This is no way that you deserve to go out. I think you deserve to go out in style, and I'm here to challenge you to your final match or what. Something like he's going to twist it along, something like that. and they'll fight for 5, 6, 7 minutes because Angle just can't go that long anymore. And I think Angle will go over on John Cena, or I don't know, it could be the other way. I could see, because I was also contemplating, what if Angle fought Taker in his last match and lost? There's no shame in losing your final match. Stone Cold lost his final match. Ric Flair lost his final match. Shawn Michaels lost his final match at WrestleMania. So certainly,
Yeah, but did they lose it to younger competitors?
Shawn lost to Taker. Rick lost to Shawn. Austin lost to Rock. So, and then Angle losing, Cena's not considered a young buck anymore. Neither would be Taker. So, we'll see. I think, but this is, if I had to guess, this is what's going to happen. Angle will squash Corbin. Cena will come out, cut a promo, and say, we're going to have one final match. And that's how it's going to end.
Well, TMZ the other day was talking to Bray Wyatt, and he may have, quote-unquote, a WrestleMania return.
That could be interesting. He returned last year in the Battle Royal because he had been on a little hiatus in the months leading, after he had been thrown into the lake of reincarnation by broken Matt Hardy, who's no longer broken, by the way. And he returned at WrestleMania to help Matt Hardy win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So I don't know, maybe he returns in some shape, form, or fashion. Who knows? So Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Also, Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So what that tells me there is that maybe Shane's going to be jumping off of something.
Titantron.
Well, I can't wait to see the setup they're going to have. So Shane's going to jump off of something right there. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, straight up singles match there. They had the promo of the year on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. If anybody has not seen that, go watch it. It was amazing. That promo in itself got me ready for this match. And then Samoa Joe will defend the United States title against Rey Mysterio. Bobby Lashley will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Finn Balor. Roman Reigns will defend against Drew McIntyre. What was I going to say? Conrad and them were making fun of WrestleMania, calling it Triple Threat Mania. There's only one Triple Threat match here at WrestleMania so far that I see.
Speaking of WrestleCast, their last episode, Ep 69, they weren't smart like us. They didn't save it till WrestleMania. But they also digged on us a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
And you had like a little comment. If they're still listening, you had a little comment.
I don't want to bury him any more than I have.
Oh, do it!
Well, basically, we were, I walked in and you were listening to it.
Yeah.
And, I made the joke about the quality of their audio because
He says your production quality is crap.
Yeah. Y'all record those Skype calls here. We got the professional equipment.
Yeah.
We sound crisp and clear, and y'all over there on the phone lines, the Skype lines, sounding, just whatever.
Sound like a bunch of amateurs.
But I like the guy. I truly like the guys over at WrestleCast. But if you're gonna take a dig at us,
but what Patrick is saying here is that yes, Americans do everything better. That's why you're in the UK. And you got terrible production value. And that's why we sound crystal clear here in Lake Charles, Louisiana, U.S. freaking A.
Ironically, whenever we started the stream, we were muted. So that was kind of funny. But we sound good now. So
even though we were muted, we still sounded great.
All right, let's continue down the match card for WrestleMania as, oh boy, my stomach is starting to growl here.
Uh-oh.
Supposed to get some boiled crawfish after this.
Like you got to go poop?
No, like I'm hungry.
Oh, okay.
Drew McIntyre taking on Roman Reigns 1-on-1. And then the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships will be on the line. It's going to be Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Boss and Hug Connection, taking on the Divas of Doom, Beth Phoenix and Natalya, also taking on the Iconics and Nia Jax and Tamina. So a fatal four-way tag team match for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Also the WWE Championship, Daniel Bryan will defend against Kofi Kingston. So Kofi Kingston finally getting his shot at the WWE Championship one-on-one at WrestleMania. So it's shaping up to be a tremendous card at WrestleMania. Can't wait to see who walks out with all the titles. And, of course, you can listen to our WrestleMania, I guess at this point it's a WrestleMania weekend preview show. That's going to be Wednesday or Thursday, so be sure to tune in for that. We'll be live streaming that on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Periscope. We're going to fix that issue with Periscope because I don't think we're even live on Periscope. No, we are not.
Bunch of haters.
Yeah, I don't know why we can't connect to Periscope there. So, yeah, that's what's going to be happening all WrestleMania weekend. Looking forward to it. Let's go now to, I think you got some things to say. We're going to have a Mikey Goes Mental segment here.
A little quick segment here.
All right, well, go ahead and do your thing, man.
All right, the first one, I want to talk about the tech team over at Apple. I don't know why you guys still have jobs, to be honest with you. Apparently, this whole thing about submitting podcasts to Apple has been a known issue for months now. I'm looking on forums months ago where it's been a known issue by you guys who are supposed to troubleshoot these issues and get them fixed, and you haven't. Why do you still have a job? Why are you still employed? Maybe if Steve Jobs was still alive, he'd fire you because you deserve to be unemployed. That's what it comes down to. Now, I got to go through all this rigmarole. I got to answer 800 questions just to give to your engineering team because you guys can't get it done right. Screw you. I don't even know if we want your The only reason why I'm trying so hard to get on Apple iTunes is because of WrestleCast, because they want to be on iTunes. If it wasn't for them, I would say screw you. All right.
So it's all WrestleCast's fault.
Pretty much. Otherwise, I would have gave up already because iTunes isn't that important to me.
Of course, WrestleCast, part of the AMP Pro Wrestling Podcast Network.
Yep. And my second victim is the LSU interim coach. What's that fool's name?
Tony Bennett. Let me see. Hold on real quick. I can look it up real quick.
It's almost not even worth looking up.
There we go.
I think it's Tommy.
It's
Benford.
It's Tony Benford.
Tony Benford. Tony Benford. Let's talk a little bit about you, buddy. Boy, did we really miss Will Wade yesterday against Michigan State. Mm-hmm. I tell you what, there's a reason why you were 29-63 at North freaking Texas, and that's because you suck. The whole game, the defense was in disarray. What kind of defense were we playing? Chicken with your head cut off? What, did you blindfold these guys all week long and just say, run around, that's our defense? Did we not game plan for Cassius Winston, one of their best players, the Big Ten Player of the Year? Did we not think he was going to be playing the daggone game? Because we sure left him alone all the time and he scorched our ass. And everybody that's hanging around the 3 line, even if they're big dudes, they can make it. That's why they're just sitting there waiting on the ball. But our defensive plan was to give them room. Let them shoot the 3. Did you not watch any tape? Again, that's why you were 29-63 at North Texas, and I hope you like recruiting for the rest of your life in Division 2 and 3 because you're getting fired just like Will Wade after this season, and we'll never hear about you again because you suck.
You seem to be a little more passionate about that LSU interim coach versus the Apple situation.
We had the players to beat them.
Oh, we did.
But the game plan and the coaching was absolutely garbage.
There you have it. Mikey O's take on the LSU-Michigan State game, a Sweet 16 game, took place last night.
Oh, yeah, it did.
All right, so that's all you got for the Mikey Goes Mental segment?
Yeah.
All right, well, it's time for some rumors now. We got a few more rumors before we wrap it on up. Take a deep breath.
Tommy Benford.
Tony Benford. Well, Tommy, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, nobody's going to know his name in a few years anyway. All right, so the Observer, take it for what you will, because obviously this is coming from Meltzer and his crew. John Cena has a match on the table for WrestleMania 35, but it's not against Angle.
Did they say who it would be against?
Of course they didn't.
So there's a match on the table, but it won't be against Angle. I don't know what the only other person, that there was rumors of him fighting at WrestleMania was Samoa Joe, but he's fighting Rey Mysterio, so...
Could that be the Bray Wyatt comeback match?
Maybe. Because back at WrestleMania 32, Bray Wyatt had a run-in with The Rock, and then the Wyatt family was about to beat down, and then, of course, Bray Wyatt and John Cena fought already at WrestleMania 30, and... I don't know. Maybe they fight again. I don't know. That would be interesting. But you know what? At this point, we don't need another match on the card. Like, they've already canceled a couple of matches, one of which folks are trying to get back, and that's the Hardys versus the Usos for the Smackdown Tag Team titles. People want to see that match, and yet I don't even think the Usos are on the card anywhere. Were the Usos in the Battle Royal?
No.
I don't think they were. So
The Hardys are, though.
The Hardys are, so I don't know what the hell they're doing as far as that goes, but definitely, I don't know. If Cena comes back, the only reason he should come back is to fight Kurt Angle.
I'm with you on that.
So that's what I think.
Yeah, hopefully you're wrong again, Dave, and if the numbers play out, you probably will be. All right, Mandy Rose was penciled to win the Fatal 4-Way for the title shot against Asuka at for the title shot at Mania before it was scrapped in favor of Charlotte. Now, they said WWE lost confidence in the match. No, it can't be from Asuka's point of view because Asuka's freaking amazing. So it's got to be they're losing, even though they wanted to push Mandy Rose because she's hot.
Yeah.
Maybe they're losing confidence that she just doesn't have the chops in the ring to get gold.
I don't know. Jim Ross said something about, of course, they put the title on Charlotte maybe just to, amplify, unless they have plans on renewing, unifying the women's to the Raw and SmackDown women's title. That's the only thing I can think of. They unify, but I don't know. Jim Ross said a big thing about Asuka is that she can't speak English very good. So at the end of the day, you got to be able to speak the English and do all this other stuff. So,
well, then they should give her a mouthpiece.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking too.
Don't take the gold off of her. She deserves it. Give her a mouthpiece.
Yeah, I know, but
give her a manager.
But anyway, so I don't know if they unify the belts. I wouldn't mind that, but I guess we'll find that out at WrestleMania.
Are you thinking they're going to unify it to make a new title for the Fox show?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. Let's see, WWE, and of course you can find all these rumors at our website and our Facebook and Twitter pages. We share our rumor roundup every day.
Marcus asks, do you think they will consider combining the titles? I mean, that's what I hope they're going to do out of this. The only other thing I think they're going to do is maybe if just the Raw, the Raw women's title's on the line, have Becky Lynch win it, and she goes to Raw, and then keep Charlotte on SmackDown. That's the only other thing I could see them doing with it. Somebody brought the idea that both titles will be on the line, but the first fall will be for one belt and the second fall will be for the second belt. No, don't do that. Like, if you're going to have both title belts on the line, have a winner take all, it's the main freaking event. Like, don't do... If they would do that, oh my God, talk about just poop on the main event. Why don't you? Just McMahon just walk down the ramp, get in the ring, pull down your pants, and just drop a turd in the middle of the ring. Why don't you? If you do it that way, come on. I don't know. I'm so confused with everything that's going on leading up to WrestleMania. I'm excited for it though.
Yeah,
just to see what happens because they'll throw us a bunch of swerves. Let's see. Do that Monday or Tuesday. Charlotte comes out and says that I am also confident that I can put my title up too. So yeah, they might do that on Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see what happens there.
Like I was saying, you can find all these rumors and news at our website, AverageMarks.com, under the news tab. WWE shared a photo of WWE superstars and Gronk at a USO event, adding fire to the speculation of his eventual WWE signing. You think they're going to sign Gronk?
If they do sign Gronk, it's going to be for a one-off. He's got so many other things I think he can do with, after retiring from football. And he may want to come have some fun in WWE once or twice or something like that. But he's never going to wrestle full-time.
Dude, you don't think him and Mojo would be a great tag team?
Him and Mojo would be a good tag team for a one-off. But I just don't see Gronk coming in and training to be a pro wrestler, going through all that and coming in full-time. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
He'll come in. If he shows up, it'll be for a one-off. He showed up at Mania, so he has a little bit of history showing up at WrestleMania, or maybe a Survivor Series or a SummerSlam or something. Who knows? But
also in that TMZ thing, apparently Bray is really good friends with Mojo. And through Mojo, he's really good friends with Gronk now. Could that be a stable?
Maybe.
Where Gronk kind of like the Xavier Woods. He doesn't wrestle that much.
Yeah, but he just kind of the mouthpiece.
Yeah, and he's just with them. You know what I mean? He wrestles every once in a while.
I still don't even know if he's going to want that full-time schedule. I see Connor signing before... See him signing. I could definitely see Connor signing before
Unless
Gronk.
He's in prison.
Yeah, he might be in prison by then. Who knows? All right, one more.
Yes. Don't rush me, Patrick.
I'm just asking. Just saying, there's one more. I'm just asking. There's one more rumor mill, right?
Yeah. Brian Alvarez, who is the more trustworthy duo of the Wrestling Observer, He said on their live show that the SmackDown title won't be on the line at Mania because WWE wants to reunite the Four Horsemen in the ring at the end, all holding up the belt together.
That's another thing and somebody brought this up too. If obviously Sasha and Bayley retain the SmackDown women's tag team, the women's tag team titles, and then Charlotte has the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then Becky wins the Raw Women's Championship. Have all four of them in the ring holding up title belts. But what it would be if you obviously have Ronda is in the main event. If you have Shayna Baszler, Marina Shafir, and Jessamyn Duke show up, and you have those four horsewomen versus these four horsewomen, like just tease it. Oh man, that would be awesome.
That would be epic. But at the same time, when you think realistically about it, Jessamyn Duke and the Maria Shafir, whatever her name is, they're garbage. Like, the only two people good in that group are obviously Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Like, the other two girls are absolute garbage. And the four horsewomen would absolutely tear them a new one.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have heat between Charlotte and Becky, so why are all of a sudden they going to be friends now?
I don't know, but of course, Dean Ambrose, him and Seth were feuding, furiously after Roman announced his leukemia, and then Roman comes back and they're best buds all again. So WWE, they like to think that we have that short-term memory.
They're booking Seth and Dean like chicks.
Well, Dean's pretty much, at this point, I think Dean's just about checked out. It's WrestleMania. They don't have anything for him to do at WrestleMania.
Counting down the days.
They don't have anything for him to do at WrestleMania, and then, why start a new, storyline after WrestleMania? So, all right. Well, I think that's it, huh?
I think that's what we call a show, Patrick.
All right, man. It was a great show. Great show.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely. Ready for WrestleMania. Ready for life after WrestleMania. It's obviously always exciting. They got the Superstar Shakeup coming up after Mania, I believe, too, as well. So new storylines, fresh storylines, all that stuff. So,
and speaking of Mania coming up, are you going to be doing some live streams?
Well, this is what we're going to do. I will live stream Raw and SmackDown, the go-home shows, and the shows afterwards. So I don't think we're going to do a WrestleMania live stream or anything for that weekend, but certainly, I may get on the Twitter, my personal Twitter. We might do a little tweeting and stuff. So we may try to interact on social media throughout WrestleMania weekend for sure, because that's a fun time to interact with all the fans and everything on social media and all that. So we're definitely going to try and do that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. Yeah. Take us home, man.
All right. Check us out online, www.averagemarks.com. Everywhere you consume a podcast, we are there, except for iTunes. And if you heard the Mikey Goes Mental, you know why. But hopefully we'll be on there soon, because I'm gonna fill out their 800 questions and send it to their engineering team, and we'll see what we can get done, Conrad. Other than that, follow us on social media at The Average Marks on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks to everybody tuning in today on YouTube, on Twitch. We appreciate you guys. I would say thank you to our KZM listeners, but Bruce, the station manager, he is out in Texas this week, so he's not able to put the show in, so we're not.
And he's going to be out in Arkansas next weekend. So
busy man.
So we won't be on KEZM for the next couple of weeks, but certainly we will still be available anywhere you can listen to our podcast. So it will still be the same old show. If anything, we don't have time restrictions, so we have a lot more to talk about. We can take our time and do all this stuff. That's why the show's run a little longer today. Yeah. We take our time and do all that stuff and give you guys as much information as we can give you. Get you ready for WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, Patrick's about to go get some crawfish.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I'm about to start editing this podcast, and we'll see you tonight at Full Throttle Wrestling Spring Breakout 2 at the Lake Charles Civic Center. Doors open 5 p.m., bell time at 6. If you're anywhere in the vicinity of Lake Charles, Louisiana, Google Map us. If you live in Texas or Louisiana, it is going to be worth the drive. Mm-hmm. It is $10 to get in. Kids 12 and under get in free. But the best thing about it is, it's going to benefit Give-A-Wish, which is kind of like Make-A-Wish, but Give-A-Wish is headquartered here in DeRidder, Louisiana, and what they do is essentially they team with local celebrities or local organizations, and they help give these kids with terminal illnesses a chance to live out one of their wishes.
Absolutely. A great cause there. So come on out, enjoy some Full Throttle Wrestling, some good local wrestling, that's for sure. Some of the best local wrestling you'll find anywhere around Southwest Louisiana.
Right, with former NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Tim Storm, and current Full Throttle Champion.
Absolutely.
All right, Patrick, you know what to do, player.
Outro.
You've been listening to the AverageMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast with Michael Leander and Patrick Fry. All opinions discussed in the show are those of the AverageMarks and do not represent any wrestling company, organization, or individual. For more information on the show, follow us on Twitter and iTunes. AMP is a proud member of the Roar Network, powered by thegorillaposition.com.